Okay, so this is my first example about the topic area of a region in the plane, and it says, find the area of the region bounded by the graph f of x equals x cubed, the x-axis, and the vertical lines x equals 0 and x equals 1. So, ang boundaries ng ating region na hanapin, o area ng region na hanapin natin ay yung f of x, x-axis, tsaka yung vertical lines 0 and 1. So, ano ba yung graph of the function f of x? So, ang graph niyang function na yan, papaganto. But since hindi naman natin kailangan yung nasa lower part of the x-axis, yung upper part na lang kakailanganin natin. Kasi ang boundaries niya, x equals 0 to 1. Okay? So, i-graph muna natin yung function na si x cubed. F of x equals x cubed. Ganito siya. Okay. So, ito yung x equals 0. And sabihin natin, lakihan natin, this is x equals 1. Okay? So, ito yung x-axis. Ito yung y. Ito yung origin. So, kailangan natin yung x equals 0 to 1, yung boundary, at saka yung function f of x. So, ito. Okay? Yan yung area na region na hahanapin natin. Now, gawa tayo ditong rectangle para makuha natin yung kung anong gagamiting value natin na c sub I. Okay? Okay. Ito yung x sub I minus 1. Ito yung ating x sub I. Okay. So, mas convenient gamitin natin yung x sub I, which is the right endpoint. Okay? Ng ating rectangle. Kasi pag left endpoint ang gagamitin natin, parang mahirap ang gamitin sa summation, sa sigma notation, yung I minus 1. Okay? Now, by the way, to compute for the area of the rectangle, recall natin yung formula, limit of the summation f of c sub I times delta x, I equals 1 to n approaches infinity. Therefore, we have to solve for c sub I and delta x. Solving delta x and c sub I. Okay. For delta x, we're going to use the formula b minus a over n. Okay. But before that, alamin muna natin yung conditions ng area of a region. Doon sa definition ng previous video na sinabi ko. Dapat daw continuous yung function f of x. So, continuous naman. And then, non-negative daw ba't siya dun sa interval na tinutukoy. Actually, yung f of x natin, non-negative talaga. Kung hindi siya tumama, lower part of the x-axis. So, therefore, nasatisfy natin yung definition of the area of the region in the plane. We can use the formula of the area of the region in the plane. This one. Okay? Now, therefore, delta x is equal to, this is your b, this is your a. So, that is 1 minus 0 over n. Therefore, delta x is 1 over n. For c sub I, mas convenient gamitin natin yung right endpoint. Okay? So, we have c sub I. Right endpoint natin is a plus I delta x. Okay? Ang a natin 0 plus I and delta x is 1 over n. So, therefore, our c sub I is I over n. Now, substitute natin ito sa ating formula. Therefore, ang ating area is equal to the limit of summation of f of c sub I is I over n. Delta x is 1 over n. I equal to 1 to n as n approaches infinity. Okay? So, substitute I over n to our f of x. We have limit n approaches infinity, summation of I equals 1 to n. Therefore, we have I over n cubed times delta x 1 over n. Okay? Now, okay, and then expand natin. We have limit n approaches infinity, summation of I equals 1 to n, is I cube over n to the fourth, n times n. N cube is n to the fourth. Then, gamitin natin yung, ilabas natin yung 1 over n to the fourth power. We have limit n approaches infinity, 1 over n to the fourth, summation of I cube, I equals 1 to n. So, yung formula natin for I cube is n squared times n plus 1 squared over 4. Okay? So, yun ang gagamitin natin. I-recall na lang natin yung aking mga formulas na binigay ko sa inyo. Okay? So, substitute natin. Area equal to limit n approaches infinity. We have 1 over n to the fourth times this. We have n squared, n plus 1 squared over 4. Okay? So, we have, cancel natin to. So, we have limit n approaches infinity. We have expand n squared plus 2n plus 1 over 4n squared. Okay? Cancel ko yung isang n squared. So, we have limit n approaches infinity. Kung tandaan niyo pa yung concept ng ating limit at infinity, we have limit of 1 over x to the n, x approaches infinity is equal to 0. N is a positive real number. So, ilagay natin sa format into fraction para magamit natin yung limit concept, yung limit at infinity. We have 1 over 4 plus, this is 1 over 2n plus 1 over 4n squared. Okay? So, therefore, ito ay equivalent to 0 na to. 0. This is also equal to 0. Therefore, ang area natin is equal to 1/4. Okay? Square units. Okay. So, area ng region bounded by the function f of x, the x-axis, and the vertical lines x equals 0, x equals 1 is 1/4 square units. So, that is our example number 1. Thank you.